Live from London, this is BBC News. Democracy must be preserved. We're in a battle for the very soul of America. The words of a tearful President Biden as he says farewell to Democrats and praises Kamala Harris.
Selecting Kamala was the very first decision I made when I became our nominee. And it was the best decision I made my whole career.
The search continues for 6 people missing, including the British tech tycoon Mike Lynch, after a luxury yacht sinks in a freak storm off Sicily. And a rocket engine explodes during a test launch at the UK's new spaceport in Shetland. Hello, I'm Karin Giannone. A tearful President Biden has taken to the stage on the opening night of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago with an emotional farewell speech in which he told supporters they're in a battle for the very soul of America. It came as the Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, made a brief surprise appearance at the convention, breaking tradition by appearing on the opening night. Here's our North America correspondent, Gary O'Donoghue. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. The search is continuing for 6 people missing after a British luxury yacht sank in a freak storm off Sicily on Monday morning. There were 22 people on board, 15 were rescued, 1 person is confirmed as having died. The British technology entrepreneur Mike Lynch and his daughter are among the missing. Authorities have also confirmed to the BBC that the international chairman of Morgan Stanley, Jonathan Bloomer, is also one of the missing 6 people. Let's go live to our correspondent Mark Lowen, who's there in Sicily. Mark, just bring us up to date, if you will. Let's just give you the latest shots. I think we can see the harbour in Sicily where the rescue is getting underway, the search and rescue operation, recovery operation. The authorities say the yacht that sank in bad weather, the super yacht, could be 50 metres underwater. The missing could be trapped in the yacht there. And there is a live page on the BBC website and the BBC app, BBC News app, with very latest developments.
Now on BBC News, the latest business news from across the globe. Business Today.
British tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch and his daughter Hannah are among 6 people missing after a yachting tragedy in Sicily. We'll hear about the significance of Mr. Lynch in the business world. As Kamala Harris and Joe Biden address the Democratic National Convention, we hear the latest economic pledges from the US presidential candidates. Donald Trump says he'll do away with big incentives for electric vehicles. Is Japan's biggest ever foreign takeover bid, and shares in the 7-Eleven owner soared on the news. Its president has been talking to the BBC. And we'll find out why Britain is topping the work from home league table. Hello, you're with Business Today. I'm Sally Bundock. The British tech tycoon Mike Lynch and his 18-year-old daughter are among 6 people missing after a luxury yacht sank off the coast of the Italian island of Sicily in the early hours of Monday morning. Mr. Lynch, known by some as the British Bill Gates, co-founded the software company Autonomy, which was later bought by the tech giant Hewlett-Packard for $11 billion. But an intense legal battle followed, and this followed this high-profile acquisition, which loomed over Mr. Lynch for more than a decade. He was acquitted this year in June in the US on multiple fraud charges. He was facing 2 decades in jail if found guilty. Here's our business editor, Simon Jack. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Shares of 7&I, the owner of the 7-Eleven convenience store chain, soared by around 23% on Monday after it revealed a takeover bid from Canada's Alimentation Couche-Tard, which runs the Circle K chain of convenience stores. The details of the offer have yet to be disclosed, but with 7&I now valued at around $38 billion, it will value the biggest foreign takeover of a Japanese firm. It beats the $18 billion paid by private equity for Toshiba's memory chip arm in 2018. Just to say, today in Tokyo, shares in 7&I did drop quite significantly as investors took profits. The president of the company spoke to Mariko Oi about their plans. And that is all from Business Today. I'll see you soon.
Live from London, this is BBC News. America, I gave my best to you. The words of a tearful President Biden as he says farewell to Democrats and hails Kamala Harris.
Selecting Kamala was the very first decision I made when I became our nominee. And it was the best decision I made my whole career.
The US Secretary of State heads to Egypt for more peace talks a day after Prime Minister Netanyahu agrees to an American bridging proposal for a ceasefire deal in Gaza. Divers in Italy try to access the wreckage of a luxury yacht that sank off the coast of Sicily in a freak storm on Monday. And a rocket engine explodes during a test launch at the UK's new spaceport in Shetland. Hello, I'm Karin Giannone. A tearful President Biden has taken to the stage on the opening night of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago with an emotional farewell speech in which he told supporters they are in a battle for the very soul of America. It came as the Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, made a brief surprise appearance at the convention, breaking with tradition by appearing on opening night. Here's our North America correspondent, Gary O'Donoghue. James Waterhouse in Kyiv. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. The government in the Democratic Republic of Congo says it hopes to receive its first doses of Mpox vaccine by next week. Last week, the World Health Organization declared Mpox a global public health emergency for the second time in 2 years as a new variant spread rapidly in parts of Africa. For the latest on this, I've been speaking to the BBC's Dorcas Wangira in Nairobi. There is lots more on that and all our other stories on the BBC News app and the BBC News website. I'm Karin Giannone here in London. Thanks for being with us.
Hello, here are the latest weather prospects for Europe, where of